I never meant to fall for Finn. He was supposed to be just a friend, the guy who always showed up late to practice, the one who annoyed me with his jokes and impossible charm. But something shifted the night he leaned in too close, his laughter brushing against my skin like fire. From that moment on, every time Finn came near me, I felt walls crumble I didn't know I had built. I tried to fight it, to bury it under rivalry and banter, but passion doesn't ask permission. It takes. And Finn, he became impossible to resist. The first time I noticed Finn differently, it was late evening after basketball practice. The court was empty except for the two of us, the sound of our sneakers echoing in the silence. His shirt clung to his body, his damp hair falling across his forehead. He laughed at something stupid I said, stepping closer, brushing past me as if it were nothing. But it wasn't nothing. Not to me. Sometimes the smallest brush can set off the loudest storm. I told myself it was heat, exhaustion, maybe even hunger, anything but attraction. I wasn't supposed to think of him like that. We were teammates, almost rivals, always trying to one-up each other in drills, in games, in everything. But then his hand accidentally grazed mine when we reached for the same water bottle. A spark shot through me, one I couldn't explain away. I caught him looking at me, not with rivalry, but with something deeper, softer. That look changed everything. I couldn't run from it anymore. From then on, I noticed every detail about him. The way he leaned back in his chair during class, spinning his pen between his fingers. The way his cologne lingered when he passed me in the hallway. The curve of his grin when he teased me about missing a shot. I hated that I noticed. I hated even more that I liked it. The closer Finn got, the harder it became to breathe. Desire doesn't whisper. It roars when you try to silence it. One night, after a long study session, he crashed at my place. It wasn't unusual, we'd done it before, but this time was different. He sprawled across my bed, scrolling through his phone, his shirt tugged up just enough to reveal his abs. He caught me staring and smirked, like he knew exactly what was going on in my head. "Comfortable?" he asked, voice low, teasing. "Too comfortable. Way too much." Some temptations don't need words. They dare you with silence. I tried to play it cool, tossing a pillow at him, rolling my eyes. But my heart hammered like I had run a marathon. He threw the pillow back, laughing, then pinned me with it just for fun. His weight pressed down on me, his face inches from mine, breath warm against my cheek. It should have been nothing. Just two friends messing around. But I couldn't ignore the electricity anymore. When play turns into pause, the truth is impossible to deny. I froze, waiting, not sure if I wanted to push him off or pull him closer. And then I saw it again, that same look in his eyes from the gym. Not rivalry, not friendship. Something raw, wanting, and bold. My chest tightened. Every nerve in my body screamed for him. I didn't move, afraid that if I did, I'd break the spell. His hand brushed mine, lingering too long to be accidental. And in that silence, I knew. Sometimes the moment you fear most is the one you crave the deepest. I should have moved. I should have said something, anything, to break the tension. But the truth was, I didn't want to. Finn hovered above me, that smirk fading into something far more dangerous, far more honest. His hand brushed against my chest, not playful this time, but tentative, searching. My breath caught. For the first time, neither of us laughed, neither of us made a joke. It was just silence, heavy and charged. His eyes darted to my lips. The silence between us said more than words ever could. When his lips finally touched mine, it wasn't wild. It was careful, like he was asking for permission. My hands moved on their own, gripping his shirt, pulling him down. That careful kiss turned hungry in seconds, years of unspoken tension spilling out all at once. The room spun, or maybe it was just me. I had wanted this without ever admitting it, and now that it was happening, I didn't want it to stop. Not tonight. Not ever. The kiss I feared was a kiss I couldn't survive without. He pulled back for just a moment, foreheads pressed together, breathing hard. "You have no idea how long I've wanted this," he whispered. His voice cracked like he'd been carrying the weight of those words for years. I stared at him, stunned, because it felt like he had just said the words buried inside me. I laughed nervously, running a hand through his hair. You? Wanting me? You spent months making fun of me. Finn grinned, lips brushing mine again. That was just my way of not falling apart. Sometimes the walls we build are just disguises for desire. That night blurred into something I'll never forget. We didn't just kiss. We confessed without needing full sentences. Every time he came closer, my defenses shattered. His hands on me were steady, certain, like he had mapped this moment out in his head 1,000 times. I should have been scared, but instead I felt free, like I'd been waiting my whole life for this moment, and finally stopped running. Fear vanishes when passion finally claims its space. We lay there after, tangled in sheets, his arms slung lazily around me. The city hummed faintly outside, but the world had shrunk to just us. He traced patterns on my skin, smiling like he'd found a missing piece he didn't know he was searching for. I didn't know what tomorrow would bring, what people would think, or if this would change everything. But as Finn pulled me closer, pressing a kiss to my shoulder, I realized none of it mattered. Not now. When love finally finds you, the world outside fades away. Weeks turn into months. We were still rivals on the court, still bantered in class, still teased each other relentlessly. But under the surface, there was something different now, something deeper. When no one was looking, his hand found mine. When he thought no one could hear, he whispered my name like it was sacred. It wasn't easy. Loving him meant risking more than just friendship. It meant risking everything we knew. But every time I thought about pulling back, Finn came closer. And every time he did, I fell harder. Some loves are worth the risk, no matter the cost. One night, months later, he looked at me across the gym after practice. No smirk, no jokes, just raw honesty in his eyes. You know, he said quietly, I don't think I fell for you in one moment. I think I've been falling a little more every time I got close. My throat tightened, my chest burning with something that felt too big to hold. Then don't stop, I whispered, keep falling with me. And he did. Love isn't a fall you recover from. It's the one you never want to stop.